welcome back to the channel. Akshi here, I'm a 4th year med student at Imperial. I know we've been doing a lot of sort of talking videos where I kind of spit a lot of information at you, and maybe you find them useful. They're sort of MMI, BMAT, so I guess they're probably quite helpful to you. I kind of wanted to do a couple of videos where I just sat down and talked to you, and I'm going to call this life lessons from med school, but this by no means is me giving you advice. You know, I am not nearly an idol. I don't think you should be following everything I say because I make so many mistakes. But the whole point of this series is not only for us to have a more relaxed style of video, because I feel like these are a lot nicer than me just giving you information, but also for me to tell you about some of the mistakes that I've made so that you guys can maybe not make those mistakes. It's not specific to medicine, you know, these are sort of everything that I've learned from the first 3 years of university. And, you know, if you're struggling at any point, hopefully you can come back to these videos and find them relatively useful. So it's going to be very relaxed. If you want to get a cup of tea, coffee, whatever, take a seat, let's have a chat about fitting in at university. So for me, when I started university, it was sort of the winter time of 2020. During 2020, there was a pandemic and there was a lockdown and there were restrictions, so it kind of restricted like what we could do at university. The way it worked was I'd signed up for halls initially, which is basically staying in accommodation, and as soon as I signed up, there were a lot of red flags that I kind of got around to seeing. You know, first of all, Imperial told us that for that year only, they would give us back our rent free of charge. So they give us back the entire rent if we chose not to stay in halls, which was kind of strange because they'd never done that before. I don't know if that's the current policy still. They'd also said that for halls, you were not allowed to mix with anyone outside of your little sort of like apartment. So the 4 rooms closest to you, you couldn't mix with anyone else. And that was really strange. And then there was a rule that you couldn't go into the kitchen with anyone else. So that kind of made it clear to me that halls was going to be pretty shaky. And the only reason why I chose to move in was because I lived in London. So for me, commuting was the exact same time because my halls was in Acton, which is a 45-minute trip from central London, and also from where I live at home, it's still a 45-minute trip. So it wasn't because of the travel, it was because of the socialising aspect. And with the pandemic, there was no socialising, so it made no sense for me to stay in halls, so I ended up commuting. Now, because of that, there was a lot of things that I was worried about, you know, things about missing out on stuff that was going on at university. Freshers Fortnight was a pain because not only was most of it online, the only in-person things you could only really do if you were living on halls, so that was kind of difficult for me as well. And I think you guys will also find this tricky. You know, fitting in at uni is going to be something that everyone goes through, no matter how popular or how sort of famous you were at your own school. You're going to struggle, no matter if you're coming from a school of 50 people and you're the only one, or if it's a school of 500 people and there's like 7 others with you, you'll struggle because you're going to have to break into this new place and find your new friend. And I want to say, first of all, that there's going to be this thing thrown at you that you'll find your best friends within the first 2 weeks of university. This is incorrect, and I think it's poor advice because it sets a timer on when you have to find friends, and it's like if you've come out of Freshers Fortnight and you still haven't really vibed with anyone, it's like you've done something wrong. You haven't. It takes a lot of time to make friends, and believe me, it's not easy, and you might not do it within the first 2 weeks. You know, for me, even though it was kind of because of the pandemic, made everything online, and we didn't see each other apart from anatomy lessons once every 2 weeks, it still took me like a good year to find like my closest group of friends. I'm not kidding when I say a year, like I'm not overstating that. It genuinely really only clicked for me in year 2. So my whole first year was kind of like feeling a bit of an outsider, but I guess that was because we never really went to university because of COVID. But for you guys, the same thing might apply. Like you might take 2 weeks, you might take 2 months, you might take a whole year. But at the end of the day, don't feel like you have to fit in immediately. And on the same sort of vein, don't change to fit in. The worst thing you can do is at university, I feel like, is change yourself and your whole personality and who you are. And you know, it's a good thing if you're changing and, you know, you want to change. You know, if you're changing in a good way, that's great. You know, go ahead. Personal development is really important, but don't change because you can't find friends. That's not a good thing to do, because if you change who you are and you're not enjoying who you are, you're going to make friends with the wrong people. Not bad people, that's not what I'm trying to say, but you're going to make friends with people who don't like the real you. You know, if you be yourself, you're going to naturally gravitate towards people who you actually like. And it might take long, you know, it might take a while, but at the end of the day, it's so worth it. And trust me, after a year, I am very happy with the group of people that I'm around. You know, I've got some amazing friends at university now, people I still chat to every day now. These are probably the friends I'm going to be talking to when I'm in finals, so it was well worth the 1 year wait. And for you guys, not everyone is going to have it easy. You know, some of you are going to have to wait a year, and trust me, you're not alone in that. Everyone else has been in the same boat, and for me, remember, it took me a year, so you do not need to feel ashamed or lonely or sort of down because you haven't found your group of friends within freshest fortnight. If it takes a while, it takes a while, but believe me, as someone who's gone through this process, it is well worth it, and you will find those group of people at some point. Now, I also want to talk about the environment. Especially at London universities, it's easy to become overwhelmed. There are so many things going on. You will find loads of people advertising just random events that you've never heard of and saying to come to them. Don't go to all of them. A lot of them are wastes of money. You know, some of them charge you like £50 for entry, and they're just like random events in the middle of London. So don't go to all of them. They're just trying to get your money. Second of all, people at university who go out all the time, if that's your kind of thing, do it. But if you don't like going out, and if you don't like going clubbing, if that's not your kind of thing, don't do it. You know, you don't have to feel pressured to do anything. I would recommend trying everything like at least once, just so you can tell yourself that I have tried this and it's not for me. But if you tried it once and you don't like it, don't feel like you have to do it. Because like I said, the people who are doing those kinds of things probably aren't going to vibe with you in the long run. So it's better that after a while you start to do things that you genuinely enjoy, no matter what that is. The societies, clubs, organizations, whatever it is. Do things that you enjoy, because that way you'll find the best friends that you'll ever make. Honestly, the people that you'll speak to the most are the people in your tutor groups or in your lectures that you see every day. So yes, I think clubs and societies are a fantastic way to meet people, but the closest people that you'll be with are those. So don't feel that you have to join 15 societies to meet people, you know, because that gets overwhelming. Especially at medical school, you can't commit to everything. So I honestly think if you turn up to your lectures, turn up to your tutorials, you will find people who you enjoy spending time with. So I just want to also say that, because that's where I met my best friends, you know, at lectures and tutorials, not at clubs and societies really, but it works differently for everyone. So, like I said, this video is not gospel, but it's just me telling you my experience, and hopefully you take something out of it. And at the end of the day, if you're already struggling, remember, if you're subscribed to the channel, you always have me. I'm always here to lend a helping hand. Obviously, you guys watch the videos, you subscribe, you like them, and I'm forever indebted to you guys. So if you ever need anything, remember my emails on my account. I think my Instagram's here as well. So anytime you need a helping hand or you want someone to talk to about university, I am more than welcome to give up some time and chat to you guys. And if you're at Imperial and you're struggling and you see me on campus, please wave, say hello. I'm more than happy to chat to you guys. So yeah, I've chatted to you guys for a lot today, and hopefully you've taken something out of it. It's been a more relaxing video. And yeah, subscribe, like, share, whatever you guys do, keep doing it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. See you in a bit.